looks all right. We're back. So firstly, I just want to say a quick little shout out to everybody that has done the course that I made. Quite a few of you have been jumping on there, which is nice. And again, I know it's not flash, it's not anything spectacular, but it's more about the information that it contains than anything. When I made that course, my sort of goal was just, if it just helped one person chase their goals and dreams, then I was happy. And I know it's already done that. And yeah, a lot of you have been doing it lately. So if you do have any feedback on it, feel free to let me know. Again, it's not flash. I kind of just did it off the cuff and just rambled on about information that I think is important for anybody that is trying to start making money with their photography. So yeah, appreciate everybody doing that. I know it's free, but I just, makes me happy knowing that I'm helping you guys or helping somebody chase their dreams. So what I wanted to have a quick chat about today was really based around sort of this thing up here, your mindset and your ability to achieve goals, chase goals, achieve the things you want to achieve, whether it be with photography or any aspects of life, and how important it is to surround yourself with the right people and have the right mindset to achieve those things. So no matter where you are in the world, there's no doubting that there is kind of a programming of humans, of people, and sort of the system that we follow as we age and as we grow, whether it be with the school system, what they teach us, how to think about things, how to go about things later in life, the sort of go to school, get a qualification, get a job, be a good little slave, head down that track, buy a house, be in huge amounts of debt, live a mundane life or live just a mediocre life. And, I'm not ragging on anyone who wants that or enjoys that. Some people genuinely just want to live that lifestyle. They just want to have a job, not have to worry about anything, go to work, Some people are happy in that scenario, but if you're pursuing photography, there's a good chance that you kind of don't think like that and you want to do things your own way. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is just sort of the way to grow, the mindset to have to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Again, whether it be in photography or just life in general, no matter what your goals are. Your goal might just to be a good parent, or to have a certain amount of money, or to live a certain lifestyle, or it also might be to turn photography into a job or a living or a career, or again, whatever you want to call it. So the first point I really wanted to make was the people that you surround yourself with. There's two types of people. You can have a conversation with someone and you can leave elevating your goals. Those people are so ambitious and so driven in the way they speak and the way that they carry themselves, that you leave that conversation raising the bar of your goals, of, like you get inspired just talking to these types of people. And then there's the other people who are generally the negative people that aren't happy, they're not ambitious, they're stuck in this loop of negativity in their life. Everything's gone wrong for them, poor them. They're the people that will always say, oh, lucky you, doing something that you've worked your ass off for years. Those types of people do the opposite. They drain all your ambition and they suck your goals out of you, basically. They are, they're soul-sucking individuals. So my first sort of point I wanted to make was limiting your interactions with those type of people. If you're an ambitious person and if you're pursuing something like photography that's a bit sort of out of the norm of a 9-to-5 job, you want to surround yourself with other people that think like you do, and you will find that it will elevate you. And again, jumping back to that course that I put out, there was a whole episode about networking, and like that is one of the most important aspects. If you're a certain type of person and you find your people that you gel with and you spend time with them and you put energy into them and stay away from those negative people that drain your ambition and drain your goals, naturally you're going to progress as well. So what I'm saying is basically be selective with the people that you surround yourself with. If you have those soul-sucking negative people in your life, just distance yourself from them. If you can be a positive, ambitious, striving person, that reflects in your work, it reflects in your interactions with other people, and everything moves forward. If you hang around with those other types of people that are very negative and draining, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. It just affects you no matter what. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So be selective with the people that you put energy into and that you hang around with if you're trying to achieve certain goals in life. The second one I want to talk about was this up here, this brain that we all have. That is your number one tool for growth and for achieving things. If you can think it, you can achieve it. And without being like woo-woo, I know a lot of people dismiss people that speak in this way because it does sound a bit woo-woo, but the ultimate reality is You become what you think. So like I said, if you think negative and poor woe is me and all this bullshit, what do you think's going to happen? If you think positive, yes, I can achieve this, I can do that, this is my goal, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to move towards, I can do it, I'm confident. You will manifest that stuff, because naturally when you think it, it becomes reality, because that's what you're focused on, and you make moves in your life to achieve that thing that you are focused on. So like me, for instance, I'm a big believer in sort of trusting the process, trusting the universe. I'm a believer in karma. Do the right thing and the right thing will happen to you type scenario. I'm not a woo-woo type person, but there is certain things that I believe, and one of them is definitely, if you can think it, you can achieve it. So by training this thing up here to think differently, think outside of the box on how you can achieve the goals that you want to achieve, is one of your most powerful tools. And it all starts with having the right mindset, getting out of that gutter mindset, that woe is me down here, Mr. Negative, Mrs. Negative, whatever you want to call it. You all know what I'm talking about. And if you can train your mind to get away from that, that is one of your best tools for achieving your goals. All right, so the third thing that I want to discuss about achieving your goals is, this one's obvious, but it's making a plan and sticking to it. Again, whether this is in photography or in any aspect of life, if you make a plan and you give it a good chunk of time, it will come to fruition. The biggest problem with people not achieving goals is time. A lot of these things don't happen overnight, especially in the photography space. If your goal is to make a living from it, or just make money from it, or turn it into your full-time job, it is going to take a long period of time. No matter what you do, no matter how you go about it, building clients, building your name, building everything is going to take a good chunk of time to build that business and turn it into what you want to turn it into. And the same goes for any aspect in life. You've got to make a plan and you've got to stick to it. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to stay on track, because as soon as you veer off that path, it gets pushed to the side, whether you create a new goal or you just get distracted by other things in life. You've got to, that goal, if you really want to achieve it, has to be front and center in your mind at all times, and you have to be striving towards it no matter what. Because as soon as you go off that path of trying to achieve that thing, it just gets pushed to the side and you don't end up achieving it. And the thing is, if you stay on that path and you really actually push to achieve that goal, when you achieve it, it is one of the best feelings that you can ever have. Knowing that you stayed on track, you put in the work and you grew something and achieved the goal that you had set out to achieve, it feels amazing. It's something that every ambitious person strives for, is making goals, achieving them, setting a new benchmark, growing, and it keeps snowballing, and you keep going up and up and up. The fourth thing I want to talk about, and for me this is a really important one, being a good person in life is very important in my opinion. And that's the fourth point I want to make, is if you do achieve goals and you do achieve success in whatever you're trying to do, helping other people who are chasing that similar goal or path achieve their goals as well in whatever way you can. By doing that, nothing bad comes from helping others. The way I look at it is, at the end of the day, when you're 80 years old and you look back on your life, what is it that you want to look back on and be happy you did or you achieved? For me, that is how many people I can help achieve their goals or chase their dream or whatever they are trying to do. Because ultimately, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the material things, none of that shit's going to matter when you're on your deathbed. The things that are going to matter are the people that you surrounded yourself with, the people you helped, the good you did for the world, and did you leave this world in a better place than when you got here? Because being a selfish dickhead your whole life and not looking out for others, whether it be in business, careers, life in general, I wouldn't want to know what that feels like, to look back on my life knowing that I was a piece of shit to everybody around me and I was selfish and I treated other people like shit. I want to look back knowing that I was a good person. I did everything I could to help others and help others strive and live a better life. Ultimately, that's the way I look at it, and that's what I want. So I carry that attitude through business, through careers, in the photography world, in life in general. Being selfless and being a nice person to others, being the happiest person in the room, all that stuff, nothing bad comes from that. Being the other way and not being a good person and being selfish and negative, all bad things, only bad things come from that, in my opinion. You might get a short-term gain out of something being that way, but it's not going to last. Ultimately, being a good person benefits you and everybody else around you in the long term and in the short term. So yeah, tip number 4 is just be a good person, help others. And if you achieve goals, help others achieve theirs in a selfless way where you're not actually looking for anything in return. You just want people to thrive. You know, I want everybody to live their best life. That's just me, how I am. So yeah, number 4 is help others, give to others, and it comes back tenfold, trust me. All right, so the 5th thing I want to talk about comes back to other people. Here in New Zealand, we have this really cool thing called tall poppy syndrome. Australia has a lot of it too, where people have this tendency to try and sort of drag others down to their level. It's you know, like, it's not like in the US where they sort of celebrate achievements and celebrate success and striving for success. Here, a lot of people really don't celebrate others' success. If anything, it's the opposite. They try and sort of, it's hard to explain, but they really try and sort of drag them down to their level. They want everybody to be mediocre. If you're striving to do something or striving to achieve goals, you sort of get a bit of pushback from most of society. And that's just something that I want to touch on here, is being ambitious and trying to achieve things. Again, no matter what part of life it's in, whether it's in photography or just life in general, you're going to get people that sort of do that to you no matter what, whether it's family members or just friends, or if you're trying to do something, people have this tendency to sort of talk down on it, and it's usually out of jealousy because they're not doing shit. The biggest people that talk down on others trying to succeed aren't doing shit themselves. They're not doing anything, and that's why they do it. It's out of jealousy and spite and hate. You've sort of got to distance yourself from those types of people or that type of thinking, and you've also got to learn to not take that criticism. I've always said the best skill you can have in life is being personable, sort of being able to see the way that other people think, adjust your personality or your reactions to things accordingly. If you can put yourselves in other people's shoes, it sort of gives you a better perspective as to why they're saying the things they say. If you do get that kind of thing from people and you are striving to achieve something, you do just learn to take it on the chin. You know, like, we're all running our own race. We all have different goals in life. Like I said earlier in the video, some people are perfectly happy just living a mediocre life with their boring 9-to-5 job, doing whatever they're doing. But if you're trying to do something and achieve something, those types of people, you cannot let the things that they say affect you. You've just got to keep on trucking and keep ticking off those goals, because ultimately they're only, 9 times out of 10, they're only saying it out of spite or out of jealousy, because like I said, they're not doing anything with their life. They're sad, they're miserable, they're in that negative spiral, and they will continue like that. And like I said, when they get to the end of their life, they're going to look back on it and have regrets. Whereas if you're ambitious and you're charging towards your goals, you're going to look back on it and think, look at all the people that I helped. Look at all the goals that I achieved. Look at the life I lived because I stayed on that track and I chased those goals and I made shit happen. I didn't just sit back and complain about my life and think everybody else is lucky, when ultimately those are the people that are like us and have chased those goals and achieved things, and they are lucky because of that. Like the old saying goes, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's the luck that people talk about. Ultimately, it's the hard work that goes into it, achieving goals, striving towards something bigger, that makes you lucky in the eyes of those other types of people. So I hope some of this helps, and it sort of gives you an idea of the way that I think and the way I approach things. And I think taking some of these lessons into your own life and sort of changing the way you think and see the world and see things. Don't never forget this. We are these tiny little specks on this giant planet in the middle of infinite space. You've got to think bigger, do bigger. You've got to think outside the box. That programming and the coaching that we get from day one through the school system, through every part of society, as soon as you escape that and you see things for what they are, you realize that you can live a life of abundance or a life of goals and opportunities. It's all just in here. You've got to override that hardwired programming that's inside those brain wires in there. So yeah, do your best to decipher this information and try and take it through your life. Like I said, I just want to help people live their best life and achieve their goals, because it's an amazing feeling. It's a nice feeling for me to be able to help others achieve that and pass on the knowledge that I have. So yeah, thanks for your time. See you in the next video. Cheers.